The Beatitudes project has been a dream of mine for 20 years or so now. I had the job of a lifetime in a rock band playing to millions of people around the world. But then it ended and it kind of threw my life upside down. What I realized in that upside down place is that there are so many voices that don't get amplified, so many stories that never get told. As this idea began to grow, I prayed and walked and prayed, and God guided me back to a place in the Bible I'd been many times. The Sermon on the Mount has always been my favorite piece of the Bible, and I began to explore the Beatitudes. These announcements of blessing for all whose life doesn't follow their instructions. What if rather than a quick fix out of our mess, the blessing looks like presence? What if when you find yourself in the upside down, the blessing is that God is on your side? I've sought out a community of songwriters, of artists and everyday people whose stories and voices give us a glimpse into what the invitation of the Beatitudes might look like in the 21st century. These words were first spoken on a hill overlooking the Sea of Galilee 2,000 years ago. What you're about to see is a film that wonders what the view from the hill might look like today.
What does it mean to listen? I mean really listen, with no distractions or divisions, clear careful decisions where the outcast is first to be considered. Listening to listen, not to respond. Why is it now that listening with our eyes just does not correspond? See, when the rabbi gave the sermon, he called us to look beyond. But as humans, this seems to be a process that we love to prolong. The people around us, whose presence we completely ignore, those we label as poor, or people who just can't do this anymore, or those whose society has decided are just not worth fighting for. We are called to do more. 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 To no longer be silent or hidden. This is an invitation to the Beatitudes vision, to understand the message more accurately than sniper precision, to bring forth a world a misfit envisioned.
It was in many ways a challenge to the first century church to live upside down, to live counterculturally or counterintuitively.
Listening in harmony, dealing boldly but respectfully to hostile authority, standing up for the ones who are not the majority, offering faith, hope and love to the rest of humanity, refuting the idea that it's all about prosperity. Because if we believe that the end goal is success, then we haven't grasped the message that we are blessed. Believe me, this upside down message is not a test. Because when it all goes wrong, well, he's got us even then.
I think Jesus is speaking to the idea that what we consider successful and what he considers successful are not the same thing.
See, when we want certainty, he offers us presence, demonstrating love as the most powerful weapon, encouraging us as a community to step in, teaching us the wisest lesson. To lift our heads in the midst of our poverty and our brokenness, our grieving, our ache for justice and wholeness, to never lose focus.
We're never going to get to the more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. It's only by really flipping the whole thing upside down, which is what I think the Beatitudes do,
to care for others by showing mercy, to go against the grain despite the controversy, to share a message with a guarantee. No need for microphone or marquee, no iPad or hands-free, no drum roll or melodies, just a learning, listening community. Community, community, community.
It would be wonderful to imagine being on the hill, one of the people listening, no text, can't reread it, can't see it on my iPhone, I have to listen. And that's the invitation of your project. That's what's so thrilling, being on the hill. What could that have been like?
Most of the time, life doesn't work out like we expect it will. We spend a lot of time trying to climb some kind of ladder to get to the top. But what we find out is that God is with us at the bottom.
If you're a giver, not a taker, walk the earth as a peacemaker. Oh, blessed, when you feel at your weakest, still you keep your heart open.
This project is about, kind of reaching beyond the differences and finding connection points, bringing people together.
In this life, we want answers, and what is offered to us is presence. Like, this is where God is, with the poor, with the broken, with the underpowered, those that are marginalized in our society and in the world right now.